Welcome everyone to the DWX New Year's special. We are going to be starting things off tonight with a match for the DWX Women's Tag Team Championships. This matchup is arguably one of probably the most difficult for the current DWX Women's Tag Team Champions, the team of LJ and April Jones, calling themselves Team Power. Just pretty much they're facing a group that has been part of a faction before known as the Four Horsewomen in Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. Both are talented singles competitors, but as a tag team, they also have worked together in the past. And of course, the Four Horsewomen in NXT were Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. At least that's what I believe the Four Horsewomen were. Could be mistaken, because I have to admit, I didn't watch much NXT. I didn't have access to the shows back in the day, but either way, these talents made it to the main roster. They worked their way up, and Charlotte and Becky are kind of, this is a weird entrance for them here tonight. But with 2022 closing out and 2023 on the horizon, things in the DWX are for sure going to be heating up in the new year, and we do have a battle royal to determine the next number one contender for either the for whatever singles main title somebody wants. There's different championships that can be decided upon, and the DWX World Heavyweight title has actually been changed to the DWX Galaxy Championship, and whoever wins the Battle Royal tonight will get a shot at either the Galaxy title, the DWX World Shenanigans title, or the Global Championship. They get their choice. Whoever wins gets their choice of what title they would like to challenge for. So a big opportunity for whomever is successful in that matchup. And there's going to be a lot of people in that contest, so it could be won by anybody. I, however, am not going to be in that contest, at least not that I know of. I could possibly be put in, but the board is kind of reviewing whether or not I will be eligible for that contest. And if that does happen, then we will have a backup commentator to try to call this action, because pretty much having silence during a matchup kind of, I think, throws things off a little bit. The commentary, I believe, adds to the match. And if you don't believe that, there was actually a court case about it at one point, according to Jesse Ventura. He had said that he played a match in court once without commentary and then played it with the commentary, and the court said that the commentary actually added to the match. And now this match is getting started, but Charlotte attacking her own tag team partner right off the bat. That is a little bit odd to see. Charlotte and Becky might have had some bad blood between them from things that had happened in the past, but to attack your own tag team partner right at the beginning of the matchup, it looks like Charlotte is able right now to hold her own. Perhaps Charlotte wants to prove to this tag team that the DWX Women's Tag Team Champions that she could do it on her own, and that she alone stands atop the women's division here. But still, it's kind of an odd set of circumstances to attack your partner, and Tessa threw Charlotte back in. Charlotte tried to get in the head of Tessa, but that wasn't working out too well for her. And she got thrown back in the ring, but now Charlotte's still trying to go at it with April Jones. And April Jones might not have the same background in the business as Charlotte, because Charlotte, of course, grew up around the Flairs, around Ric Flair, who was pretty much legendary in the business for his multiple title wins. And then also she had some other family members. I believe she's somewhat related to David Flair. And there, LJ gets tagged in, and Becky just tagged in and now tags back out. Looks like she and Charlotte have sort of mended things, at least for the moment. But LJ going right at Charlotte, and Charlotte doesn't seem to have any answers. Is Charlotte going to tag out? And Becky looks like she wasn't going to allow Charlotte to tag as she jumped off the ring apron, and I guess she's going to let Charlotte go through this rough patch on her own. Surprising, though, that Becky would pretty much somewhat betray her tag team partner, but perhaps that was a little bit of payback for the cheap shot at the very beginning of this contest. And if Charlotte and Becky are able to secure the tag, and there's another shot. Looks like Charlotte was none too pleased with what Becky did, and now Charlotte was going for April Jones, and that doesn't seem to work out. But if Charlotte and Becky are able to secure these DWX Women's Tag Team titles, I wonder how that team is going to function with this this infighting that's seemingly going on. And Charlotte's tried a few moves but has missed on quite a few occasions. Kind of seems just a tad bit off here tonight, as LJ is really showing some promise, but Charlotte shuts down that attack. And Charlotte has said in the past that she likes to take competitors into the deep waters and then pretty much drown them, because that's like pretty much the deep waters are like when the match gets close and anything can happen. But this is a huge test for the DWX Women's Tag. And there's a spear. Charlotte might be closing in on finishing off the matchup, and she's got LJ locked into the figure 4. And this usually, will she get it bridged into? She gets it into the figure 8, but LJ is able to get the legs away and frees herself for the moment from the figure 8. Usually that's Charlotte's calling card if she can bridge in. Usually she wears down opponents into the figure 8 to the point where they either have to tap out or they could risk serious injury. And there's an arm bar, and LJ got the arm bar, and Charlotte was forced to tap out. So Team Power retains their DWX Women's Tag Team Championships. And pretty much this is a big upset, I think, for Charlotte and Becky. But their team didn't seem to work together. It's called a tag team. It takes 2 competitors. That's why it's a team, and with them not being able to work together, it backfired, and the women's tag team champions retain their titles, and we'll have to see who is next in line for a shot at those tag team championships, because right now some of the competition has been turned away, and we'll have to see how long April Jones and LJ can retain these tag team titles. And from tonight, it looks like they might have these belts for a while.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the DWX World Classic Continental Championship.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DWX New Year's special. We're ending out 2022, and what better way than to have a match for the Excalibur Championship. Here comes the Riddler. And Riddler, he's had some issues with certain people, namely RD, who his opponent will be tonight. RD, of course, the Excalibur champion, adding that belt into the LS. And the LS, we've had a lot of success with championships, winning quite a number of championships. And of course, the one is the DWX World Shenanigans Champion. He at one point had the Imperial Crown Championship, but unfortunately, due to the board, that was kind of a little bit of there was some shenanigans that were pulled in pretty much a screw job, because people might have heard of the Montreal screw job, but it was more of a DWX screw job that happened because the board was able to get the referee to medically say that the one couldn't compete any longer in a matchup that was an elimination style. The referee, at their discretion, stopped the match a little while and pretty much eliminated the one medically. So the one was taken out of a matchup, but I don't think it worked out so well for the board, because I don't think that Terrible Terry Tate actually was able to keep that title. But the one actually has made out better for it, because if you think about it, he actually is now the DWX World Shenanigans Champion, despite the board trying to block anything like that, thanks to DCH taking care of business, getting the one more shot way back like a few months back. The one got one more opportunity, and that was all he needed to put away the champion, the former DWX World Shenanigans Champion, Overhaul Zed. And Overhaul Zed probably a little bit disappointed that he wasn't able to retain in the last man standing contest, but that's sometimes how things go in DWX. But tonight we'll have to see how some of the champions fare. We've already seen one title retained already, the DWX Women's Tag Team Champions retaining their title. And I'm confident, quite confident, that the RD is going to follow suit, retaining the Excalibur Championship. He is the inaugural Excalibur Champion. And I don't think, well, actually, I'm mistaken on that. He's not the inaugural champion, but he actually has had the belt for quite some time, and I believe that he'll go down as probably one of the longest reigning Excalibur champions. That belt was added into DWX as a pretty unique championship, and we'll have to see if its title lineage will either continue with the RD or if it will go to Riddler, as this matchup is just about ready to get underway. RD would probably love to turn back the Riddler in this contest and prove that he deserves to keep on as the DWX Excalibur champion, because RD has had his issues with both Riddler and a character called Shenanigans. Pretty much, though, Shenanigan is kind of I guess you could say, some kind of like fate maybe or something. But there's also been rumors that possibly Riddler was formed by Shenanigan. So it's kind of difficult to explain it. People that don't know would have had to have been there back in the DWI early days, back when things started, because that was where a lot of things happened, and a lot of the roster, many of them, that's where they got their start. Because Riddler, he appeared in DWI, he added on to in DUI and joined other countless E-Feds. But he's always seemingly been kind of a thorn in the side of Lethal Injection and, I guess, in some way, the LS, because he kind of has a similar look to the RD. I think one of the few differences is the eye patch, and of course, he's not affiliated with the Lethal Syndicate, or he wasn't even affiliated with LI. It looks like RD is getting set up for the RDKO, and now a cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2, and 3. Quick matchup there. RD putting on a clinic, turning back the challenge of Riddler and proving that he is a deserving Excalibur champion. And looks like Riddler is going to talk with the RD, and it looks like they're going to shake hands and show sportsmanship. And Riddler, I guess, is conceding that RD tonight was the better man in this contest. Welcome back, everyone, to the DWX New Year's show. And we have a matchup now for the Canadian Championship. The Canadian Championship has kind of been featured quite a little bit here as of late in the DWX. Rob Hall, of course, the former Canadian champion. He won the title under somewhat questionable circumstances with some help from Sheamus, but he's not saying whether he had any involvement in Sheamus coming down to ringside to help him out, or any details, if there are any, of his involvement in that whole issue. But Rob Hall won the Canadian title, and then immediately after, his friend Steve the Gamble came down and got a title shot, somehow got a title shot from the board, and pretty much in a way cheated Rob Hall out of the Canadian title, because Rob Hall, he had just been through a match with Lion's Edge, and it was a really grueling match because he struggled through most of it, and then he had that whole moment of being able to celebrate, only to have Steve the Gamble take that moment away. And this will be a good way to end 2022, to have this whole issue resolved. And the board has stated that they have banned Sheamus and anyone else from getting involved. They said that this matchup needs to be straight up by the book, no cheating, nobody coming in to help either competitor. They want to see a straight up matchup, and I believe that Steve the Gamble, he'll probably go to whatever lengths it takes to keep this Canadian title, as he feels that he is entitled to be the Canadian champion, and that nobody else should have it. No other Canadians, no Americans or anybody else should have that Canadian title, because he feels that it is his property. And pretty much, I don't know if you can argue, he's pretty much made that championship his property by going to whatever lengths it takes to become Canadian champion. And I don't know, it just seems like he should be somewhat a little bit ashamed of his actions, kind of taking away that moment from Rob Hall. But Rob Hall, he's had a lot of success in DWX. He's held world titles. He's held the DWX World Shenanigans title. He held the DWX World Heavyweight title. And he's a former Canadian champion, and he's looking to try to become Canadian champion again tonight, as he and Steve the Gamble continue to just lock up. And these holds, looks like Steve the Gamble doesn't want to be grappling anymore, but the grappling can really wear an opponent down. That's mostly in mixed martial arts, but it looks like Steve the Gamble has Rob Hall backed up into the corner, and the referee calling for them to separate yet again. But these two, this matchup I thought would be a little bit more intense, as Steve the Gamble with that punch, because both of them want that Canadian championship, but Rob Hall, he probably would love to at least have a night where he can hold that belt and at least experience more of being the Canadian champion, because he didn't get the full experience. He got just a little taste of what it's like to be the Canadian champion before Steve the Gamble came in and took it away. And tonight, though, we will get a definitive answer. It looks like Rob Hall was starting to respond. Oh, there's a spear by Steve the Gamble, and now a cover. Steve the Gamble can't believe that did not put away Rob Hall, as now he's picking Rob Hall up and gets taken down. Rob Hall starting to get a little bit of a run going here as he knocks down, as he uses the ropes to take down Steve the Gamble. And Steve the Gamble is struggling here as Rob Hall is trying to do whatever he can, but looks like that little run, gets snuffed out there by Steve the Gamble. But no, Rob Hall again able to recover. This match going back and forth, and Rob Hall, he's for sure a Hall of Famer in E-Feds. He's been in quite a number of them, and he got caught with a stunner there. Steve the Gamble kind of lulled Rob Hall into that stunner, and now a cover. 1, 2, and 3, and Steve the Gamble retains the DWX Canadian Championship. And for Rob Hall, I think he just took his eyes off the prize a little bit prematurely. He lost focus for just a split second, and then he walked right into that stunner. But I will say, fair and square, Rob Hall lost that Canadian Championship to Steve the Gamble. And Steve the Gamble defends his Canadian title, so he'll probably celebrate tonight as he gets to keep his property and his Canadian Championship. Congratulations to Steve the Gamble on winning this, I guess you could say, a grudge match. And perhaps these two, now that this whole issue is over, maybe they can be friends again and put this whole Canadian title business aside and as like water under the bridge. Hello everyone out there in the DWX and the viewers. Happy New Year or New Year's Eve whenever you're actually watching this, because I know it's different in different parts of the world, so the time changes and everything. But DWX is celebrating its at least 1 year being in existence, and this is a 30-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and I believe that the winner will be named future number 1 contender to whatever the Galaxy title, the Global title, or the DWX World Shenanigans title. One of those 3 titles, whoever wins this battle royal can have whatever pick of whichever belt they want to go for, as Kia is going to be starting things off. So we have a member of the Lethal Syndicate, and I believe all the members should be in this. I believe Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe may have gotten something, some kind of deal like that, because I know the one would like to probably be, he'd love to win something like this too, because then he could add even more titles to his already growing list of championships, because he's had the tag title, he's still tag team champions with RD, and he's got the DWX World Shenanigans title. He'd probably love to add even more gold. And speaking of 2022, kind of a little bit of a weird year for the DWX and for the LS too. Like, the one, he was the Imperial Crown Champion, of course, got robbed of that because of terrible Terry Tate and the official deciding to medically disqualify the one from a matchup for said title. But regardless, this Battle Royal, we'll see who in the DWX will have a chance at championship gold in 2023. As here we see Spudman, and Spudman, we haven't seen much of him in the DWX, but we'll see probably a lot of competitors in this contest. But it's over the top rope. Once you are thrown over the top rope, you are eliminated from this matchup. So competitors will come in at random intervals, and just to let everyone know, this matchup will probably be quite long because battle royals usually take quite a while to go through because of the random intervals, and a lot of competitors don't want to be thrown over that top rope. As Kia, he's fighting it out with Spudman, and I'm not sure if I'm in this matchup or not. So if I am in this matchup, we'll have another commentator come out and take my spot. But I don't believe that I am in this matchup, as here we see Calypso, another newcomer. Calypso, of course, from the Twisted Metal series, and you can see he's got a little bit of a burn, he's got a little bit of a mark on his face from a few burns. But yeah, Calypso, those that have played Twisted Metal will know who he is. He's got a lot of magical powers, but the board is now allowing him to use said powers in this matchup, as here comes Homelander. So Homelander, he's thinks of himself as a hero. We'll have to see how he does in this contest. So some new faces showing up here on DWX in our New Year's Eve, New Year's show. Last year there was a battle royal, and this year we have another battle royal. It just, I think, in a way, you could showcase the talent with a battle royal, and a lot of people can get on the card, and pretty much a battle royal seems to be quite easy going, and with the high stakes in this matchup, you got to think that it's going to be everybody for themselves. However, if the LS, I think the LS will pretty much, if with the LS in this matchup, we would work together to make sure that we help each other survive this. As it looks like Spudman, though, and Riddler, looks like they're trying to get Kia out of this. Kia, though, able to fight free of that. Kia, of course, a former FBXW World's Champion and former DUI World's Champion. And here comes Creeper. And Creeper, he is a competitor that is no nonsense. And I thought for a minute there we were going to have our first elimination, but it was not to be. No eliminations have occurred yet in this contest. For a minute there I thought that Kia was gone, but Kia able to hang on in this contest. So anybody could be eliminated from this, as here comes Dewey Cheatham. Dewey Cheatham, of course, and there goes Riddler, and there goes, I believe that was Calypso and Riddler, both eliminated. Dewey Cheatham, one of the, he's the legal counsel for the LS, and he's in this contest, but I don't know why he's going after Kia. I guess maybe he's taking this every person for themselves thing very seriously. But we're already seeing Calypso and Riddler leaving the matchup. They have been eliminated, and now Paul Rogers is coming out here, and Paul Rogers, another newcomer. He's a self-help guru, but sometimes as a self-help guru, he kind of goes a little bit crazy with the with the self-help stuff, but. Yeah. Anyway, he's another newcomer here in the DWX. And he doesn't look as big as some of the other competitors, but it looks like we're going to have two newcomers now going. And there goes Paul Rogers. Paul Rogers tried to go for something, but Dewey Cheatham held down the top rope, and Paul Rogers went flying. So Paul Rogers out of this matchup. He can't believe that he was just eliminated, But now maybe he can go back to doing his self-help guru stuff, whatever that may entail. But he's out of this matchup. So I guess when you're out, you can hit the showers. And now here comes Tony Tiny, a fitness guru. So we've seen some gurus in matches in this matchup thus far. And Tony Tiny, of course, a little bit of a different look from his earlier days. But yeah, he's in this contest and had 9 competitors thus far out of the 30 that will be in this matchup, as Homelander is getting attacked by Tony Tiny. And Homelander might have landed there on his knee a little bit, as now Andrew Thompson coming out to into this matchup. Of course, he's wearing that green and white of the Eagles of Philadelphia. He's a big Philly fan, believe probably. And there goes Creeper. Creeper has been eliminated from this contest, so Creeper, he won't be adding any titles to his resume as of right now, so he's out of this match. And now Tony Tiny slamming Dewey's head into the post repeatedly, and now Titan is coming to the ringside area, and Titan, this might be the first time we actually get to see Titan compete. He's been in people's corners at times, but this will be the first time he actually will compete. But yeah, Titan hiding behind that mask and everything. He's kind of said to be a really tough contender and competitor, as Dewey Cheatham is now trying to fight his way free, and Spudman going right after Kia, but it looks like Titan takes down Dewey Cheatham. And Titan, I would wonder if anybody would want to gang up on Titan to try to get him out of this contest, because the longer the bigger competitor is in and the fresh person is in, the more difficult it could be later on, as he's got Spudman up, and Titan's got Spudman, and powerbomb out of the ring, and here comes Sheamus Shenanigan. Sheamus Shenanigan making his way into this matchup, and he looks somewhat familiar. I believe he was Mr. Gladiator for a while, but now I guess he's going by his legal name of Sheamus Shenanigan. Wonder if that could be a good luck charm or what that could be. But either way, this matchup will see a lot of competitors in it. And now we're counting down again to the next entrant, and it's BDS. BDS, of course, was part of the DWI, one of the founding fathers of that organization. And it looks like Kia's going right after him. Right there, knee to the gut. Is this going to be a short night for BDS? I guess only time will tell. But I believe Titan was just eliminated there. I think Sheamus Shenanigan might have eliminated Titan from this contest, but so much is going on, it's hard to keep track of everything, as Steve the Gamble is coming into this matchup now, and Steve the Gamble has had quite the year in DWX, and he's really tried to get a stranglehold on the Canadian Championship. Steve the Gamble really, I think, cherishes that Canadian Championship, and he would like to be able to hang on to that for quite some time. But he might have some challenges, as Rob Hall would probably love to get that title, wrestle that title away from Steve the Gamble. But Steve the Gamble and there goes Sheamus Shenanigan. Sheamus Shenanigan eliminated by Dewey Cheatham. So Dewey Cheatham is really making a name for himself here in the DWX in the very early going as he press slams Kia, and Kia is busted open. And there goes Homelander. Broccoli Warrior eliminates Homelander. So that's there's another person that's out of this contest, as now it looks like Kia wants to get rid of Dewey Cheatham. Maybe he believes that Dewey is not here in his best interest. And judging by the way that Dewey Cheatham has gone with the stipulation of everyone for themselves, it looks like Broccoli Warrior is trying to aid, and now we're going to have another member of the LS joining in this contest, the RD, but it looks like Dewey is refusing to go out here without a fight. As BDS and Steve the Gamble go at it, these are two EFED founding fathers going at it, but it looks like that little scuffle is going to be broken up here. But BDS, and Dewey Cheatham and BDS were going they were kind of in a little bit of a loop there, as now Kia trying to get rid of Steve the Gamble, Dewey Cheatham was trying to get rid of BDS, and RD is trying to take care of Broccoli Warrior. So we have two LS members and the legal counsel for the LS in this contest. And still we have more competitors yet to come, as now here comes Big Ben. He's from the DWI, he was in the DUI, and he was also in Ballydung, and I believe in the New Era. I don't remember or recall seeing him in the New Era of the DWI when that was going on. But now it looks like Big Ben is going right after Steve the Gamble. But this matchup, just wild stuff happens. Everybody going after everyone. That's kind of the name of these types of games here, the Battle Royal. And here comes Lion's Edge. Of course, Lion's Edge, a former Canadian champion. He won the champion. Oh, and there goes the RD. Big Ben and Dewey teaming up to get rid of Big Ben. Don't know how that's going to sit well with the... Oh, and there goes BDS, and there goes Steve the Gamble. RD can't believe it, and this matchup is just wild and crazy. A lot of Broccoli Warriors gone, and everybody seems to be trying to get rid of everybody, and the any person for themselves stipulation is really coming into play here. There doesn't seem to be any alliances formed, which is kind of some short-lived alliances, I should say, have formed. But Lion's Edge, of course, he would probably love to get another shot at gold, because he's had quite some good luck. I mean, especially when in your debut. To win a championship in your debut, that doesn't happen very often. And he would like to not be one of those people that ends up winning a championship in your debut and then never being able to capitalize on that again. And Kia, he's fighting for all he's got here in this contest. And I still believe we have a few more competitors left to go. I'm surprised, and now we get the clock ticking down. Seems like it's been random, though, the ticking down of the time to have more competitors in there. And here comes Sweet Tooth. He's from the Twisted Metal, and I'm pretty sure he's not very happy that Calypso is out of this contest, although there's a love-hate relationship between those two. And no, Kia powerbombed out of the ring, and I guess the board wants to take another quick look at that. Possibly a challenge was issued, and it looks like the evidence concludes that it was clean and it was over the top rope. So that elimination does count. Unfortunately, Kia is eliminated from this contest, but the legal counsel for the LS is still in this contest, as now Kempo is making his way out. Kempo Man is making his way to the into this matchup. Sweet Tooth, though, in this matchup, he could be a force to be reckoned with, as he is ruthless at times, and he stops at nothing to get what he wants. And anybody that's ever seen him in Twisted Metal knows that Sweet Tooth means business. He's not the nice ice cream delivery truck driver. He may drive an ice cream truck. Oh, and there he's eliminated. I was going to say he may drive an ice cream truck, but don't let the looks fool you. He is very, very crafty and very devious. As now Psycho Melon is in this matchup. He's probably not too happy that one of his brethren, Broccoli Warrior, was eliminated. But, I guess he gets to join Broccoli Warrior now in the back, because that was a very, very quick elimination. Psycho Melon just can't believe the odds that he gets eliminated not long after getting into this contest, as now Stone Cold Jesse is making his way to the ring at number 22. So that, I believe there are 8 more competitors still to go in this matchup to find out who is going to actually win this. And there goes Kempo out and over. So he is eliminated from this contest. As Lion's Edge, he's trying to probably take out, and he takes, no, he didn't. He didn't get rid of Big Ben, but Big Ben is certainly has the size advantage over Lion's Edge, as Lion's Edge looks like a child compared to the height of Big Ben. And there's Ash in this matchup. So Ash, of course, in the Evil Dead series, and now he's going to get pile driven into the mat. Very dangerous type of maneuver, as now it looks like Lion's Edge is in some trouble, and Dewey is trying to help. And they get Lion's Edge out of this matchup. So Dewey Cheatham has really been making an impact in, I believe this would be his first ever official matchup here for the DWX. Usually he's behind the scenes doing legal counsel for the LS, but he wanted to compete tonight, and the board said, why don't you compete? Let's see what you got. And I guess he must be making quite the impression on the board right now. I mean, because he survived this long in this matchup, and now Big Steve is going to be coming to the ring at number 25. So this ring is starting to fill up with competitors. It hasn't come down. We haven't seen it come down to just one-on-one or anything in this matchup, as sometimes a match like that will happen. But we have Demento in here, we have Stone Cold Jesse, we have Ash, we have Big Steve, we have Big Ben. So, and there go, no, again, Dewey Cheatham is able to hang on and avoid an elimination right now, as Shamrock is now getting into this matchup. And there goes Demento. Demento is eliminated. So Dewey Cheatham getting yet another elimination as Shamrock enters this matchup. And this is really starting to look really well for Dewey Cheatham. I wonder if he wins, if that means that the LS is going to get more opportunities at more gold, because we always like to add to our championship collection. And it would be nice to add that Galaxy Championship to the collection, as here comes the DWX World Shenanigans Champion, Mark Kennedy, the one Mark Kennedy, in this contest, as Ash was just eliminated. So Ash won't be getting any opportunities. The One getting in a nice position here, but it's unfortunate that most of the LS are not in this contest anymore. They've been eliminated from this matchup, but Big Steve is really trying to take it to the One, as the One, though, he's not going to give up in a matchup like this. He knows what's at stake. He knows that there's opportunities at gold at stake. If he can win this contest, he would be right in line to get a shot at championship gold, as, he eliminates Big Steve, and the One starting to try to trim this field, because the One, despite being the DWX World Shenanigans Champion, I don't think that's enough. I think he wants more gold, and even more gold on top of that. As here comes Leisure Suit Larry Laffer into the matchup at number 28, so that means there are 2 more spots to be filled, and Laffer has not had, and there goes Dewey Cheatham, eliminated by Stone Cold Jesse. So Stone Cold Jesse making his impact in this as the One, going right after Shamrock. And you got to think also the One is probably trying to defend or fend off any challengers to his title, or at least anybody that would possibly try to sneak their way into a title matchup that may not be deserving of it. And there goes, I did not see who that was. That was someone, though, just got eliminated, and that was Stone Cold Jesse. Stone Cold Jesse is eliminated from the matchup. Amazon coming in at number 29, so that monster is in at number 29, and a very good spot. But Shamrock and the One are still going at it. And we've got Starman at number 30. So now, everyone that's in this matchup now, we are down. This is the final. We are down to the final 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Final 6 competitors in this matchup. At least it looks like that. But we might be soon seeing someone eliminated. The One trying to get that monster out of here, but having some trouble. He's having some trouble doing so, as Laffer is trying to do something, but not having very much effect as he gets grabbed by the throat, and he gets a choke slam for his efforts. One trying to get rid of Starman, and Big Ben trying to get rid of Shamrock. And Big Ben now, he's trying to hoist Shamrock up and over. Shamrock's trying to hang on for all he's got. But will he be able to hang on as Big Ben continues to do whatever he can, as Starman is trying to fight to stay in this? Laffer is trying to get rid of Starman. That's smart strategy, though. Get rid of the fresh competitor first, and then focus on the people that have been beating each other up all matchup, and somebody just got busted open. But I believe it. And there goes Larry Laffer, was just eliminated by Shamrock, so he's out of this contest. We are now down to, we've got Big Ben, Shamrock, Starman, the Monster, and the One. 5 competitors. We're down to the final 5 competitors in this contest. One of them is going to win the New Year's Battle Royal and have an opportunity to challenge for whatever championship they wish to go for, as unfortunately, the One was just eliminated by Big Ben, so he gave it a good effort, though, but I guess, unfortunately, no members of the LS are going to be winning this Battle Royal. But it's down to Starman, Big Ben, the Monster, and Shamrock. So Shamrock, though, if he were to win, that'd be something, because he's a a bare-knuckle fighter, an MMA competitor, and he might actually give somebody a run for their championship. But Big Ben still, a pile driver there to the monster. And I'm surprised that Starman and this monster don't try to team up, because they could try to even level the playing field and make it just come down to the two of them. And there, Starman went for something, but he's eliminated. So the number 30 entrant is gone. Number 30 is gone, but number 29 still remains. But Starman upset here as he made a very bad mistake trying to rush the ropes, as now the monster is going to try to take over here, and he's just really putting on a clinic here on Big Ben as now he's picking up Big Ben, and the question is, Big Ben fighting back though. Big Ben is going to try to go for something, but no. And Shamrock there is just chilling on the by the ropes. It's smart strategy to let these two beat each other down and then try to go possibly for an elimination. As now it looks like we're going to see from this monster that's quite a different maneuver. I don't believe I've ever seen something like that happen before, but now Shamrock and Big Ben going at each other again. But one of these three competitors is going to win that opportunity. One of the three of these people in this contest is going to win that opportunity at challenging for whatever title they want, the Galaxy, the Global, or the DWX World Shenanigans title. It's all pretty much whatever the winner decides, and whoever wins this, because it's down to these final three, one of the men in this ring is going to walk away with that opportunity. One of them. It's just a question of which person is it going to be. And it looks like Shamrock's in some trouble here, and it's not going to be Shamrock. He's eliminated. It's down to Big Ben and this monster, and it looks like Big Ben might be honing in on an opportunity at a title of his choosing, but looks like that might have been, maybe that was thwarted, as now the monster has picked up and from what I've been told, the title opportunity can be whenever they want it, not like Money in the Bank, but it has to be decided upon at a certain time, as it looks like this monster has won. And of course, this monster has won that Galaxy Championship before it was called the Galaxy title a long while ago, but looks like this monster is going to get another opportunity. This Amazonian monster is going to get another title opportunity in 2023, and whichever champion he goes after, I hope that I wish them luck, because they might need it. This competitor is no joke. Welcome everyone to the DWX New Year's special. We're getting ready now for the main event for the DWX World Shenanigans Championship, and here comes Tony Khan. He's accompanied by some of his employees from a company called All Elite Wrestling. Looks like it's Britt Baker and Adam Cole are going to be accompanying him to ringside here tonight. And this is the main event. And some people that saw earlier, we had the Battle Royal moments ago that was won by Amazon. So that Amazon, the Amazonian monster, he'll probably be watching this quite closely, because he could go against whoever wins this match at some point in time. He'd go for the DWX World Shenanigans title. the Global Championship, or the Galaxy Championship. But it looks like we had Chris Jericho has actually joined in here to give some more moral support, I guess, to Tony Khan. And now the One is coming down to ringside to defend. And this matchup, there's Charade, of course. Charade has been accompanying the One to some of his matches as of late. Of course, Charade, she's been by the One side since, I believe, the DUI. I'm not sure if she was in the DWI or if that was a little bit later on that she came into the picture. But regardless of that, the One and Charade have been, they've worked together for quite some time. And the One, he's had quite the year. And he's hoping that his success can continue here tonight and that he can retain the championship through the holiday season, because we've already had one holiday and now it's almost the new year. So can the One walk out of here with the title intact, because he does have a loss in the Thankful Beatings match to Tony Khan, and it was somewhat questionable, and that referee from that matchup is not refereeing this matchup. DCH actually was able to take care of business and get a different referee assigned for this contest, because we don't want any kind of chicanery or any kind of shenanigans being played in this kind of matchup. And the only reason that Khan is getting this opportunity is because he has that questionable victory over the One, eliminating the One from that Thankful Beatings match, but he did not win the Thankful Beatings contest, and the One is now on the outside. But I don't think the One wants to be out there for too long, because there's 3 people on the outside that are probably on the payroll, well, definitely on the payroll from Tony Khan, and I don't think that you could put it past them that they might try some kind of, there's Tony Khan kind of messing with Charade a little bit, trying to, I don't know if he's trying to flirt or what he's trying to do. One trying to get back in the ring, and Tony Khan was showing off, and looks like that One is not too happy about that. The One does not like when people try to mess with Charade, but the One gets taken down, and the One go right back up. And this might have, what Tony Khan did, and the One actually, I think, saw it. I think he's actually enraged, the One, and he might be bringing out the crazy side of the One, and ooh, that kick right to the head. Tony Khan is in some trouble here. The One is going to do whatever it takes to, and now it looks like he's going to work on that arm. He might even try to break the arm as he goes for a cover. One, no. I'm surprised though that One was going to go for the cover. You would think that he would want to inflict a little bit more damage on Tony Khan. But Tony Khan seems to be he still has a lot of fight in him and looks like now, what is he going to do? He's going to try for a stunner type maneuver. And now he's celebrating, still trying to get the crowd behind him. And Tony Khan now showing off again to Charade. And there was a time that Tony Khan would probably he tried to purchase the DWX, and he would probably love nothing better than to take that DWX World Shenanigans title with him back to his all-elite company, just to kind of rub it in the face of the DWX, because he's tried it in different ways to try to take out the competition. And if he takes out some E-Feds and now a cover, the One might have this over. No, and Britt Baker pulled the referee out of the ring. The One, I think, had this match finished, but those goons that Tony Khan has brought to the ringside area, these goons just couldn't keep their hands out of this matchup. The one's going to have to try to get a pinfall and try to make sure the referee is in a position where he's not anywhere near that trio on the outside. And the one was teasing a big maneuver there. The referee apparently has given Britt Baker a warning that any more actions like that, she will get ejected. But I'm surprised the referee let at least that slide, because normally the referee and there's a running kick to Tony Khan, and Tony Khan is busted open, and now a cover. 1, 2, no, and another kick out, and Britt Baker just slid a steel chair into the ring. That's not, I don't think this is a no disqualification matchup, but Tony Khan, he is busted open, and perhaps it would have been better for him to have been pinned earlier and not have his people pull the referee out. Now a cover, 1, 2, and no! Tony Khan still finding the something in him to be able to kick out, at least in this situation, but he has clearly thus far been overmatched by the one. He's had little spurts of some kind of offense, but the one has been getting the upper hand pretty much this entire contest. And now, what's the one going to do to him? And knees right to the face. And looks like the people in the truck are trying to show that footage again. A little bit of technical difficulties, wasn't able to get the footage up, and now the one dragging Tony Khan into the center of the ring, and the referee now the referee got pulled out again, and I think the referee has had enough. He's having a conversation with Jericho, Cole, and Britt Baker, and I think he's ejecting Britt Baker from the ringside area, telling her that she is out of here. And Jericho can't believe it. He's not very pleased by this action, but I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, this matchup, for all intents and purposes, should have been over. Now the one with a cover again, hooks the leg, 1, 2, and 3, and this time, without someone to pull the referee out, the one is able to retain the DWX World Shenanigans title. And Tony Khan, he had a plan, but it looks like his plan wasn't going to come to fruition tonight, as he retains the championship, as the one retains the championship over Tony Khan. But Tony Khan was lucky to even get this kind of an opportunity. But he won't be taking that championship away from the DWX, and he'll have to go to the back of the line if he's even in title contention. Congratulations to the one on retaining the title, and he'll be the champion now going into 2023. And what challenges will the one have to face as the DWX World Shenanigans champion to end out the year of 2022? Congratulations to the one on this epic title victory.